Well, the game kind of speaks for itself. Excuse my voice. I only raised my voice in enthusiasm, but yeah, I was really proud of our players. One thing that we know about our guys is that they're gonna keep playing. They're never gonna quit. And there was never a time in the game where we felt like we were out of it. We never felt like we were overmatched. We felt like we needed to continue to execute better on both sides of the ball. We were able to make some adjustments. And find a way to make some plays. We started to convert more on third down on offense, and guys were playing extremely hard on defense. And obviously we have some playmakers that were able to make some plays. But it was a team win, and I tell you what, our fans they never gave up on us. No one left. They stayed in there. Down 16. And kept helping us and pulling us through, and that's what Spartans do. With resilient, hard working, earn everything that you get. And someone just asked me what does this win mean to me? It means it's not about me. It's about Spartan Nation and our players, our staff, Michigan State University, all of our fans, all of our former players, the Spartan Dogs, and all of our 500,000+ living alumni across the country and around the world. We know how important this game is to all Spartans, and we don't take that lightly. And so I know there's a lot of happy Spartans right now celebrating, and that's what this is all about. Obviously, it's a huge win. Ken Walker. I don't know what else I can say. This is a huge stage. The whole world's watching. You got a chance to see what type of player he is, and obviously, any recognition that he's getting for Heisman consideration is well deserved. Obviously, offensive line and the tight ends and receivers doing a great job blocking. But obviously he's a difference maker. So, just overall, just a strong effort for our team, and we're in the hunt. We're in the hunt. We have a strong opponent. Next week we need to go on the road and play good football, and we've got some things we can improve upon. But obviously this is a game that we had to have, and so we were able to get it done.
We'll start from there here in the front.
Mel, to your right, slowing down their running game that has been so strong this year, how key was that in this victory, and how was your team able to do it?
Well, really up front, it's about, being gap sound, setting the edge, and building the wall. And we were able to do that on a fairly consistent basis in the game. We knew that they were going to run the ball quite a bit, and we were really stout up front. And it was physical in the trenches, and we got the run support that we needed. And we wanted to make sure that we could contain their run game, and obviously we knew that we were going to have to force them to throw the ball, and if they could beat us doing that, then they would get us. But at the end of the day, stopping the run for the most part was critically important on defense.
In the back left.
In the back, the theme of keep chopping. We've heard it from you. We heard it from the guys today too. What does a win like this one here today say about your team and the kind of players that you have?
Well, it says that, again, that they believe in what we're doing. They're a resilient group. They're very unselfish. They play for each other. It's important to them that they don't let each other down. So they're going to play extreme. They're going to play with extreme effort. And they're going to always play the next play. And it's not about the scoreboard. Each play has a history and a life of its own. So you've got 6 to 7 seconds of technique and fundamentals. Extreme effort. Mental and physical toughness, and then you move on to the next play. And that's basically just keep chopping. Just keep going. You continue to hammer like that on both sides of the ball and special teams. Deliver body blows, and then we believe in our conditioning and our ability to execute down the stretch, and that's what you saw out there today.
Now, can you talk? I know we've talked so much about Kenneth, but can you talk about a couple of the throws that Peyton made, particularly on the 4th downs, that to really kind of set a couple of those scores up?
Yeah, I mean, he was very calm, cool, and collected. We talked in the team meeting this morning at the hotel. I said, you and I have to be the eye of the storm. The football team, and for 4 quarters, and he was able to do that. We didn't see anything different today than what we've seen from him in practice. So it really comes down to execution, and then obviously on the other end, guys making plays. And so that's what it's all about. And it's not always going to be pretty. Football's not a game of perfect, but we talked during the week about competitive greatness, which is being at your best when your best is needed. And I think we saw that down the stretch.
Rico.
Mel, you guys finished the game on a 23-3 run. What was said when the score was 30-14 to rally the guys?
Oh, so we're still in it. I mean, we're in it. There's no such thing as a safe lead in college football. The games, they go forever. The clock stops all the time, and it's just a matter of executing. Getting a stop on defense. We actually were able to move the ball the entire game. We would just stall out. And so we had to take care of the ball, protect the quarterback, and we were able to sustain. And then, when you're in the run game, if you don't go away from it and you're able to hammer, eventually you're gonna pop some. And that's what we saw. We were never out of it, and we never felt like we were overmatched. And we just felt like we needed to execute better. And so credit to our guys. I mean, they didn't flinch, and they just kept chopping, and that's important. And like I just said on the radio, I mean, they say football is the game of life. It's the ultimate team sport, but it's the game of life. And our guys, we feel like they're going to be better off because they decided to come here to East Lansing and Michigan State, and the things that they learn on the football field, how to be resilient and keep chopping and, handle adversity and things like that, it's going to serve them well, out in the real world and life after football, because it doesn't always go your way, and, failure is not an option. You just got to keep going, and that's on display week in and week out with our guys. So I'm really proud of them for that.
Dennis, right here.
Mel, there was over here on the right.
Okay.
There's no secret you guys had trouble running the ball last year. When Kenneth came in, did you have to say the words, or did you say the words, you can be the guy, you can be great, or was it just assumed that there was an opportunity? No, I mean, every time he touches the ball, he's got a chance to do something special. And when you have a guy like that, the offensive line, they're going to strain, they're going to finish, they're going to bleed. The tight ends and the receivers, they're going to strain, they're going to block, because they know that that he can pop one at any moment. And the thing that was impressive today, it wasn't, he had some tough yards in there today. He hit it up in there, and sometimes it was 3, sometimes it was 2, sometimes it was 4. And then, he did some of the things that, difference makers do. He made guys miss, and once he gets into the secondary, he's out the gate. So, his full capability was on display today. He can get the tough yards. He can be explosive. He's a physical player. And in this conference, when you down the stretch, this time of year, you're playing good teams. That's when you need to be at your best. And I think he showed what type of player he was today. I mean, the whole world was watching, and everyone wants to know, okay, well, if he's going to be considered for the Heisman, okay, well then, in games like this, you need to produce, and so he was able to do that.
Jack in front.
Mel, a couple of your players mentioned the locker room celebration. What are you going to remember about those minutes with your team? And are you going to spend some quality time with Paul Bunyan the way you did last year on the bus ride home?
Yeah, well, that's the one thing. That's one of the things about football is the locker room, especially after a victory. There's nothing like it, because everyone is a part of it. When you look around, you got the players, and you got the coaches, and but you got trainers in there, you got academic support, folks are in there. You know, the administration is in there. We have former players in there. I mean, you know, obviously recruits. I mean, so it's a moment to celebrate, you know, and to really just take note of a huge accomplishment. It is not easy to win football games. It's really difficult, especially when you're playing against, you know, good teams. And so when you can get a win and you get in that locker room, it's nothing like it. And to see Paul in there, you know, is it's special. It's special. And I told him, man, I said, look at Paul. He's right here. He's happy. He's right here where he belongs. You know, he's in there. We're taking pictures with him. You know, guys are dancing and things like that. You know, my dad happened to be at the game, and he actually took a picture with Paul. And so, you know, that's kind of what it's like. And those are memories. I mean, those are like Coach Izzo told our team during the week. He spoke to him after practice. He says, you know, memories for a lifetime. And that was an epic game. That was a classic. I mean, that was a big time. That was a big time game. And so it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of something like that.
Go to Brandon from 24/7.
Coach, you know, a lot of coaches come into a program, they talk about straining and they have mottos and all that like you do yourself, and then sometimes it doesn't translate. But with you, I think you're 4-0 or maybe 5-0 in single possession games. I guess in a big picture sense, when you take over a program, how do you get to a point that quickly where you know you're going to be able to still win a game when it's tight the way it was today?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, we have a tremendous staff, coaching staff, and we're all on the same page, and we see the game of football the same. And so, and we believe in what we're doing. We believe in our process, you know, top to bottom, A to Z. Everything that we're doing, we're not experimenting with anything. You know, everything is part of our process, and we stick to it. And that translates to the players. And what we tell our players and how we go about our business, it really resonates with them. They know that you know, we have a plan for them, and it's a winning plan. You know, it's a winning formula. And so they pour into it, they buy in, and it's something that we continue to hammer every day. You know, we're always selling our process, you know, always hammering the details, the sense of urgency, the accountability, teamwork, you know, discipline. And so when you do that day after day after day after day after day, you get guys to buy in, and then you have good players, when guys that have talent, you know, willing to put the work in, then you have a chance to get what you want. And, you know, you ask the players, you know, what do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it? And so, you know, everything that we've gotten so far, that we've earned it, and no one's given us anything.
Back left.
Coach, hi. On Monday you said this game is about legacy, playing in it, coaching in it. Now you're 2-0 against Michigan. I believe the first MSU coach do that. That's a good start to this legacy for you.
I would say so.
Do you buy into the fan talk coming stuff? You like it? You think it's fun?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think it's fun. It's a great way to engage with our fans. We have great fans. We have the best fans in the country, and they're really. This is a football town. Yeah, this is a football school. There's a lot of pride and tradition here at Michigan State with Spartan football, and so and that's what our fans deserve. They deserve to see good football, to see a tough, hard-nosed football team out there that won't quit. You know, they deserve to see winning football, and they deserve to have a coaching staff and players who appreciate them. I mean, we appreciate our fans. We appreciate our students, our student section. I mean, we feed off of them, and it's a community. You know, it's we're all connected. You know, through the game of football. And so again, it's not about us. It's about it's about everyone and all Spartans. And so whether it's Tuck coming or K9 for Heisman or the deep end or the woodshed, whatever it is, that's what college football is all about.
Mel, to follow up a little bit on that, when you think about guys like from Big E to Duffy and Nick Saban and Mark D'Antonio, none of those guys are able to win their first 2 games in this series, yet you've been able to do that. What does that mean to you, or is that something you'll be able to think about further down the road and not so much right now? Yeah, maybe further down the road, but football is the ultimate team sport. I mean, there's so many people involved or committed, that it's just not a one-man show. So anything that happens on the field, I'm a part of it, but it's not all me. And so, like I said, we have a great coaching staff. We have great players that believe in what we're doing, and we have great support, from in our administration and in our fans and our former players. I mean, everyone's a part of it. So we say, winning the first 2 games, against a school down the road, and it's never been done. Well, there's a first time for everything, but it's not about me. It's about everyone else is really a part of this effort.
Okay, we're going to do 3 more. We got Pat and Chris and wrap with Fred. Pat,
Mel, to your left here.
Yeah.
You said when you were interviewing for the job, you thought Michigan State could compete for national championships, but in year 2, are you ahead of schedule?
Yeah, I don't believe in self-imposed limitations. I've said this before publicly. Our goal is to win every game on our schedule, whether it's home or away, or regardless of who it is. That's our goal. Now, whether we can do that or not, only time will tell. And so, what does success look like? I've been asked several times. Success is us reaching our full potential, as a football team. And so we have not hit our ceiling yet. We still have room for improvement, and we have a tough schedule ahead. I mean, we're going on the road next week with a very strong team, and it's tough sledding, and you need to be playing your best football, in November, if you want to get anything done in terms of what you're talking about, and so we've got a ways to go, and but what's most important is what's next, and it's going to be our preparation this week. We got to rest and recover, and we have to get focused in on our next opponent, and then and take the show on the road.
Chris.
2 quick ones. One for you. You got to be in this rivalry last year, but there were no fans. What was it like walking out of that tunnel, and then maybe in the last few minutes as everything's kind of boiling together, what it was like kind of looking around there and hearing everything?
Yeah, it was, coming out, it was an electric atmosphere. The student section was there. They were there early, and there was a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, and when you're playing the school down the road, there's a different look, in people's eyes in terms of, when they tell you, coach, let's get it done, or, go green. I mean, it means a little bit more, and you could feel that. And in the woodshed, it was packed, and everyone was there, and the whole world was watching, and so it was very impressive, and it's inspiring, and how can you not play your heart out or coach your heart out in an atmosphere like that? And we're all in it together.
The second part was with that emotion. How much of a lift did you get from getting guys like Beasley and Collins and a couple guys back that had been battling those injuries and kind of played, and like Drew played a pretty pivotal role? Yeah,
the bye came at a good time for us, and we needed the bye to try to get as healthy as we possibly could and the rest of the guys up. But you mentioned Eli and Drew. Those guys did everything they possibly could to get back and be ready for the game. Beasley told me, weeks ago. He said, "I want to be a captain for the Michigan game." And I didn't list him on social media because we weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it. But I mean, he did everything. I mean, he was 24 hours, round the clock treatment, and that's huge. And those types of players are foundational players. They motivate coaches, they motivate their teammates, and epitomize what Spartan football is all about and what it means to be a Spartan. And it's just the mental and physical toughness and going out there and laying it on the line. He wanted to be there, for his teammates, and that was and that's special. Same thing with Eli, and there was other guys that have been banged up and worked really hard to get healthier for this game. And at this time of the year, no one's 100%. Everybody's beat up in some way, but everybody rallied the best they could to be available for this game.
We'll wrap with Fred on the far side.
Mel, I realize the season isn't over, and I can appreciate that you think it's not about you, as you said out there. But you are the first coach to go 2-0 against Michigan. Your over-under on the season was 4.5 wins. You're 8-0, and you're in the top 10. Do you feel some sense of accomplishment of where this program and where this team is?
Well, we've done what we've needed to do up until this point, but we've still got a long ways to go, and we got a lot of tough games coming up. Starting next week, and there'll be plenty of time, at the end to add it all up. But right now, it's really 24-hour rule and then on to the next. And that's the only way that I'm going to approach it, and that's the way our team is going to approach it. And we got a lot of football left, and we don't believe in self-imposed limitations. We need to get what we can get.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for covering our team. Go Green.